American former teen beauty queen Emma Coronel, until her husband Joaquin El Chapo Guzmán was imprisoned for life, was renowned as Mexico's most wanted drug lord's wife. She was arrested in the United States in February of 2021 on allegations of conspiracy to illegally import and distribute illegal drugs, money laundering, and conducting business with big foreign narcotics trafficker identified as a kingpin. Coronel received a 3-year prison term in the fall of 2021. Emma Modesta Coronel was born on July 2nd of 1989 to Blanca Estea Espuro and Inez Coronel Barreras, a cattle rancher and deputy of Guzmán who is sanctioned by the United States Department of Treasury under the Foreign Narcotics Kingpin designation. They live near San Francisco, California. She was raised in the little town of La Angostura in Durango. So in today's video, we're going to have a little look at how the Kardashian of Sinaloa went from influencer to prisoner, and she was El Chapo's wife, essentially. For many years, Joaquin El Chapo Guzmán's wife was a well-known social media personality, a model, and successful entrepreneur before she became famous as his wife. Her privileged existence had abruptly ended, and she's currently spending 22 hours a day in solitary confinement while she awaits trial on a narcotics accusation. Emma Coronel appeared at a virtual court hearing in the United States wearing a blue and green prison jumpsuit, which completely disguised her after she had been stripped of her jewels, her expensive clothes, and Louis Vuitton heels. After being accused with international trafficking of cocaine, methamphetamine, heroin, and marijuana in February, the judge denied bail to Coronel, the third wife of Mexican drug barterer Joaquin El Chapo Guzmán Loera. Coronel, widely known as the Kardashian of Sinaloa, is suspected of aiding her husband's 2015 jailbreak, which required digging a mile-long tunnel from their bathroom. Life in prison, a $10 million punishment, and the potential shame of losing a life filled with yachts, luxury, goods, and photo shoots await her if she's found guilty of all counts. Coronel is currently incarcerated in Alexandria, Virginia for 22 hours a day, a situation that her attorney, Mariel Colon, has criticized as inhumane. Colon stated she barely spends a couple of hours a day in a tiny common room. Since they don't offer her anything else to divert her, Colon claims that when she's alone in her cell, Coronel chooses to spend her time reading. She's believed to have had twins while married to El Chapo, the head of the Sinaloa cartel and the most infamous drug lord in the world. She was a regular presence at her husband's 2019 New York trial when he was found guilty and given a life sentence. The press horde gathered around the well-dressed, obedient wife and children, who were flanked by security. She, at the time, said she was doing okay despite the trial's stress and that she had never concealed El Chapo's presence from the twins. She told the media, "They know their dad is in jail." She explained that having these activities draw me away from feeling lonely. They keep me busy. She's always stood up for her hubby. The fact that Coronel was born in the United States on July 2nd of 1989 means that she holds dual citizenship within Mexico. They say that she is the niece of notorious drug smuggler Ignacio Coronel. During that time, El Chapo dominated the Mexican cocaine market in the early 1990s. Both her father, Inez Coronel Barreras, and the guy she claims is her uncle, were involved in drug trafficking. A shootout with the Mexican army took place on July 29, 2010, near Zapopan, Jalisco State, and it resulted in Ignacio's death. Emma's brother, also named Inez Coronel, is currently serving time for drug offenses, while his sister, Inez Coronel Barreras, has multiple convictions for marijuana trafficking. Emma Coronel spent her childhood traveling between the United States and the small hamlet of Angostura in the Mexican state of Durango, in the heart of the country's golden triangle for drug trafficking. She entered her first beauty pageant at an early age and was crowned Queen of the Coffee and Ojala Festival when she was just 17. El Chapo, then 51 years old, became her spouse at a ball honoring her coronation. Coronel broke up with her fiancé in order to become El Chapo's third wife, and the two quickly agreed to wed on the day that she turned 18. Coronel has been given countless television interviews with her extensive makeup and calm manner, in which she's divulged details of her private life, with very well specifically chosen words. She said that rather than lavish presents, El Chapo's words were what ultimately won her heart. It was his good manners and generosity that ultimately won her over. After much prodding from her husband, she enrolled at the Autonomous University of Sinaloa to pursue a degree in communication studies. She mentioned she often wished that she could become a reporter. Coronel has always smiled her way out of sticky situations when asked about her husband's business affairs, and she's always seemed comfortable in front of the camera. She would always respond with a timid, "I would not like to address that," whenever the topic of drug trafficking came up in a discussion. Despite her claims that she led an ordinary life, going out to restaurants and the movies with her friends, she was a household name in Sinaloa. "In order for me to be happy and at peace, I don't require a lot of material possessions. I'd prefer it if they didn't make such a big deal out of my situation. Like everyone else, I enjoy going to the beach. I enjoy going out with friends," she told the media. In 2011, Coronel and Guzmán welcomed identical twins into the world, Maria Joaquina and Emily Guadalupe. The girls are half-sisters of El Chapo's 8 other children from previous marriages, and were also born in the United States. Coronel is currently assisting in the upbringing of 3 of Guzmán's children, but she admitted that she doesn't know the actual number. The cocaine profits El Chapo made from the 1990s allow him to live lavishly, with 4 private jets, mansions dotted along Mexico's finest beaches, and even a zoo on one of his many ranches. At his trial, El Chapo's trusted lieutenant Miguel Ángel Martinez, also known as El Gordo, among the Sinaloa cartel's members, revealed the lavish lifestyle to which the family had been accustomed to. He claimed that the ranch they owned in Guadalajara had 4 swimming pools, a zoo of exotic beasts including tigers, lions, panthers, and deer. El Gordo recalled that his business partner had dozens of luxury cars and regular vacations abroad, and that guests would go about on a small train. While her husband was in power, Emma Coronel ignored his abuses of authority so that she can enjoy those years too. For the life of me, I had no idea he was a drug dealer, she proclaimed. I'm in love with him. She claimed to have supported herself through her enterprises while he awaited punishment. I can't give you many specifics, but I can say that they're not illegal. So, I have some land that I received from my dad, for instance, she explained in 2018. Prosecutors in the United States alleged that Coronel not only was aware, but actively participated in the activities of the Sinaloa cartel. According to the evidence presented in court, El Chapo's wife played a significant role in maintaining contact with her husband's colleagues while he was in prison. The FBI agent Eric S. McGuire reportedly used a letter allegedly sent by El Chapo to an accomplice about heroin trafficking as part of the evidence to secure a warrant for her arrest. The twins' mom has something to share with you, my lads. Be mindful, comrade, the document stated. She will elaborate. In Mazatlan, Sinaloa, El Chapo was captured by Mexican commandos on February 22nd. He was Mexico's number 2 most wanted cartel head at the time, but he tricked authorities into letting him see his wife, Emma Coronel, and their 2 daughters. He was sent to Mexico's maximum security Altiplano prison because of his amorous gesture that he had made. After a year, he pulled off one of the most audacious prison breaks in history. El Chapo entered the 1,500-meter tunnel, which has lights, ventilation, and rails to help remove trash, and the shower block in July 2015. The district court in Washington, D.C. has charged Coronel with aiding her husband in this stranger-than-fiction adventure. The former model sat down in the courtroom by herself during El Chapo's trial, when she got to see her husband sport the ties that she bought him. The transcript of messages between Guzmán and one of his lovers, Agustina Cabanillas Acosta, she hardly reacted at all. Besides, demonstrating Guzmán's adultery, the conversation also revealed the mistress's involvement in drug trafficking within the United States, specifically cocaine and marijuana. The adulterous partner addressed him as love, and described him as the most important person to her. According to the lead agent of the inquiry, Guzmán loved her a lot, and Acosta became his plaything. Upon learning of Coronel's adultery, El Chapo glanced over at him. In wake of his conviction, Coronel took advantage of the attention she was receiving by appearing in an episode of the VH1 reality show, Cartel Crew. On video, Coronel told Michel Blanco, son of Colombian cocaine trafficker Griselda Blanco, "I try not to regret what's in the past." The show featured the wife of the most notorious drug lord in the world, who claimed she just wanted to live a normal life. Without getting to know us first, they passed judgment on us. She stood on a yacht in all white and she remarked, "It's hard sometimes because you simply want to do what you see everyone else around you doing." Blanco was consulted on the introduction of a clothing line bearing her husband's initials, which stand for El Chapo Guzmán, JGL. Alejandra Guzmán, one of El Chapo's daughters, established a clothing line in 2019 under the name El Chapo 701, a reference to the 2009 Forbes magazine list that placed Chapo as the 701st wealthiest person in the world. Neither firm was able to survive. Emma Coronel made a very millennial decision when she expanded her business and put a lot of effort into becoming an influencer on Instagram. She advertised a wide variety of Sinaloan businesses, from fashion and jewelry boutiques to fast food restaurants and ice cream parlors. Now, the account only has 5 posts, but it does have 5 million followers. Instead of posting personal photos, El Chapo's wife uses professionally taken photos of herself, which are very much praised by her fan base for their striking beauty and unique sense of style. 2 months before her arrest, she posted a photo of herself on Instagram where she's wearing a wedding dress and her hair is a beautiful blonde braid. The influencer's bubble burst, and everyone is curious as to how long they'll be confined to their orange jail garb. So that was it on how Emma Coronel became the prisoner El Chapo's wife. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, then hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. How do you see Emma and El Chapo as a couple? Let us know in the comment section below, and we'll see you in the next one.